Do you know that feeling when you've done everything right? You got an education, built a career, started a family, and then you look at a calculator and realize your second income is an illusion. What if I told you this isn't your personal failure, but a deliberate economic trap that millions fall into? In this video, we're going to expose this system. We'll show you why the cost of childcare isn't just an expense, but a penalty for parenthood. The system, which is supposed to support families, actually forces them to make an impossible choice: career or children, financial stability or time with family. It's like an economic escalator going down. You run as hard as you can just to stay in place, but the system is designed so that one of you inevitably drops out. We'll ask the crucial question: why has the desire to work and raise children simultaneously turned into economic suicide for one parent? And who benefits from this? Over the next 15 minutes, we'll walk you through the relentless, irreversible math that proves one of you might be working for free. Then we'll reveal who actually subsidizes this system. And it's not the government. We'll calculate the career penalty, the real amount you lose over 5 years out of the job market. Cornell University economists call this the motherhood penalty. We'll show how 5 years out of the market can cost you not just 5 salaries, but over 15 million rubles in the long run. And most importantly, we'll show you that there is a way out. Let's start with something simple. Take an average salary, say 70,000 rubles. After a 13% tax, that's 60,900. Now subtract the average cost of a private daycare in a major city. That's 40 to 50,000. Add transportation and lunches, another 10,000. And here's the shocking fact. For many, the net income from a second salary is just a few thousand rubles. This is the price you pay to be able to work. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Economists call this the point of futility. This is the exact moment when your hourly rate, after all child and work-related expenses, drops lower than that of a delivery driver or a barista. Here's a real-life example of the Ivanov family. Their second salary of 100,000 rubles, after all deductions, turns into 12,000. This is a phantom salary. On paper, it exists. You see it on your pay stub. But by the end of the month, it vanishes like a mirage. You spend 160 hours of your life each month not earning, but buying the right to remain in your profession. That's 75 rubles an hour. That's exactly how much the system is willing to pay for 1 hour of your qualifications, your experience, your life. Pause the video for a second. Just calculate it. Take your salary, subtract taxes, subtract the cost of daycare, subtract transportation, business lunches, and the cost of office clothes. How much is left? Write in the comments if the result surprised you. This exercise isn't just math, it's what Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman would call an outside view. You momentarily step out of the routine and see the real cost of your efforts, stripped of habit and self-justification. This cold shower is more sobering than any coffee. But we haven't accounted for the hidden costs. The so-called work tax. This isn't just money, it's hours spent in traffic. It's emotional burnout. It's the cost of sick days when a child is ill and you lose either salary or reputation. It's like owning a car. You don't just pay for gas. There's also insurance, maintenance, and the main invisible cost, depreciation. The same applies to work. The work tax is your personal depreciation. You wear out your most valuable resource, time and mental health, just to keep the system running. When we add these factors, the point of futility for many arrives much sooner. In fact, you're paying extra for the privilege of going to work. So the math is ruthless. The family loses money. But here's the paradox. Most private daycares themselves barely make ends meet. If you're paying a fortune and they're not getting rich, then the money is leaking elsewhere. The money isn't leaking, it's trapped. Imagine a triangle. In one corner, affordable price for you. In another, decent salary for educators. In the third, high quality and safety. Economists call this the iron triangle of the care industry. You can only choose 2 corners out of 3. Want quality and affordability. The system will pay educators peanuts. Want quality and decent staff salaries. The price for you will skyrocket. The system is stuck. The state, through hundreds of regulations, demands quality. You, the parents, demand affordability. And this knot is cut at the expense of the only ones who can be economized on, the educators. Your high fee isn't the owner's profit. It's a desperate attempt to keep this triangle from collapsing. Now let's look at this through the eyes of an educator. She earns 40,000 rubles for a 10-hour workday and bears enormous responsibility for 15 children. Your 60,000 ruble monthly fee goes towards rent, taxes, food, materials, and compliance with endless sanitary regulations. Studies show that staff turnover in private daycares reaches 30 to 40% annually. This is the level of the fast food industry. The system pits two key people against each other, the parent and the educator, although their enemy is the same. So who actually pays for this system? The answer: two people. The first is the parent, most often the mother, who leaves work. They subsidize the state with their unpaid childcare labor. The second is the educator, who subsidizes the system with their low salary. Imagine the economy as a huge bridge. Everyone sees the shiny cars on top. That's corporations and GDP. But no one looks down at the pillars that hold it all up. These two pillars are the unpaid labor of parents and the low-paid labor of educators. Remove them, and the entire bridge collapses. This is the invisible army on which our entire economy rests. But monthly bills are only a small part of the price. The biggest bill won't be sent this month, but in 5, 10, 15 years. This is the deferred penalty for parenthood. Let's calculate the real, long-term cost of leaving work. And this figure will shock you. In economics, this is called the motherhood penalty. This term was introduced by sociologist Shelley Carell in her 2007 study. She proved that employers systematically offer mothers lower salaries. They consider them less competent than childless women with identical resumes. Studies show that after childbirth, men's salaries continue to rise. Women's salaries fall by an average of 20%, and often they never recover to their former career trajectory. Leaving work for 3 to 5 years isn't just a pause, it's a financial coma. Imagine a graph. 2 lines, the father's career and the mother's career. Before the child's birth, they run parallel. And here's the point of birth. One line continues to rise, the other sharply declines. This is like reverse compound interest. Every year out of a career doesn't just take away one salary. It also takes away all future raises, bonuses, and investment opportunities that would have grown on it. The gap grows not linearly, but exponentially. By the age of 50, the difference in accumulated savings and future pensions can amount to tens of millions. This is the price, not for the child, but for a dysfunctional system. But you don't just lose money, you lose qualifications. Your qualifications are like software, without regular updates, practice, networking, new projects. It becomes outdated. After 5 years, you return to the market with Windows XP when everyone is already running the latest version. You haven't just fallen behind. You've become incompatible with the system. You lose professional connections. You lose self-confidence, returning to the job market and competing with those who never took a break. The system doesn't just take your money today. It steals your opportunities tomorrow. The picture looks grim. It seems there's no way out, and the trap has sprung shut. But that's not true, because this problem isn't unique, and dozens of countries have already found working solutions. What if I told you that daycare could cost as much as a bus pass? In Canada, in the province of Quebec, this is already a reality. In the 1990s, they launched a subsidized daycare program. Today, parents pay a fixed rate, about $10 a day. The result: women's employment rates soared, and the province's GDP grew by billions. Every dollar invested by the government returned to the treasury as $1.75 through taxes from new workers and reduced social benefits. Economist Pierre-André Fortin called this Quebec's most effective economic policy of the last 20 years. It's not an expense, it's a direct investment. We see a similar approach in France. State nurseries, or crèche, are available from 3 months of age, and their cost depends on family income. But the key here is a paradigm shift. Childcare ceases to be a service for parents, like dry cleaning or food delivery. It becomes a public good. like schools or libraries. The system views childcare not as a private family problem, but as the first crucial stage of the national education system. This changes everything. These countries understood the main point. Affordable childcare is not social assistance. It is economic infrastructure, just like roads, the internet, and electricity. It is the operating system for a modern economy. Without it, the talented and educated half of the population cannot boot up and work at full capacity. Without this infrastructure, the entire economy runs on one cylinder. Global changes take time. But what can you do right now? Here's a 3-step survival protocol. Step 1. Conduct a full audit of your point of futility. Create a simple matrix of real costs. One column for all monetary expenses: daycare, transportation, food. A second for all time-related expenses: commute, preparations, finding a babysitter during illness. A third for all stress-related factors: burnout, conflicts due to fatigue, sick days. Assign each item a rating from 1 to 10. This will give you a psychoeconomic rather than just financial snapshot of the situation. Make decisions based on these figures, not emotions. Step 2. Look for gray areas. Parent cooperatives, sharing one nanny between 2 or 3 families. Corporate daycares if available. Research all tax deductions you are eligible for. Step 3. Negotiate with your employer. Flexible hours, partial remote work, the possibility of a reduced workday. All of these can radically change your personal math. We've explored this problem from all angles. Now the main question for you: what do you think is the root cause? Is it a systemic failure that the government should address through subsidies and reforms? Or is it a personal choice, and each family must cope as best they can? Write just one word in the comments: system or choice. Let's see which of us there are more of.